Hi, so this is Sean. So this is a run through of my Swatch collection. I have 7. I tried to sell one, but I would have had to take about £20 for it, so I just thought I'll just keep it. And I bought this 12 slot watch box. I thought I'm not going to limit myself so much on swatches. But what I don't want to do is buy loads of similar ones and then never wear them. And another thing is I really like the 34mm editions of Swatch. And kind of once you've seen one, you've seen them all to a certain extent. But there are so many designs that you can buy, and they're all so different, really. So it's you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place to some extent. Actually, I'm wearing this watch, the Breda Pulse, and I'm already thinking about selling it. It's not really me, but when I put this video on, it's had quite a few views. I'm guessing because there's not many videos about this watch on YouTube, but probably end up taking a massive hit on that watch in terms of the resale. But yeah, so I'll just take you through them in no particular order. What I would like in the comments, if you guys know anything about swatches, what are your favorites, like in terms of vintage ones? And I follow some guy on Instagram, for example, and he posts pictures of one of his swatches, and it's basically a tennis swatch. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but the watch actually came in like the kind of container that tennis balls come in, and the strap is like the material of a tennis ball. It's dead cool. And that's the sort of thing I would like, something that's a bit different and, a bit of a conversation piece, if you like. And these are all kind of bog standard swatches, to be honest. But I do like to think that they are, bog standard swatch is kind of a contradiction in terms, but it also kind of describes completely what they are, because they are all bog standard swatches. All swatches are the same to a certain extent, if I'm making sense. But anyway, so yeah, in no particular order, I've got 2 peanut swatches. As you'll know, or you might not know, to be honest, I'm obsessed with peanuts, and I regularly wear things with peanuts on them, t-shirts and shoes. It's funny actually, because I've recently got a couple of peanuts tattoos, and it kind of makes me feel a bit daft now, because I could be wearing a Peanuts t-shirt with Snoopy on it, and then have a Snoopy watch on and a Snoopy tattoo and a pair of shoes with Snoopy on. It's kind of, at what point is that too much? And I think the answer is it's always too much. But yeah, so this is a Snoopy swatch. It's a 34mm gent. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's got some sort of Italian name. I think these are still available. I think this particular one, it had to be shipped from a Swatch store in Britain, because they didn't have it in stock. So maybe they are out of stock. But last time I went to the Swatch shop in Manchester, they had them still in the window. I was thinking about getting all of these. I've got 2. I've owned the 3rd. But I just don't think I'd wear them. But it's kind of nice to have them just because they're peanuts, and I do love peanuts. So watch this space, I guess. But the next one I buy, if I was to buy one, I think it's called Smack, and it's got like scenes from the comic. So obviously this is just Snoopy, but the Smack has got kind of panels from the comic all over it. It's really cool. As I said, I prefer the 34mm swatch. They were much nicer on my wrist. And I think if you're wearing a zany watch, to wear a really big zany watch is too much. That's just my opinion. Second one, Charlie Brown. So in the colours of Charlie Brown, with Charlie Brown all over it. So Charlie Brown is pretty much my alter ego. Charlie Brown's a loser. I am too. Just a joke. But yeah, I do actually like this. I think it's cool. I haven't worn it that many times. I bought it off eBay. It wasn't even that cheap, to be honest. These are £92 retail. I think the Snoopy was about 70 odd. They're not worth it. in terms of the, why does it cost more to get a peanut swatch? But it does. So yeah. Then the Swatch Clear. This is my favorite swatch. I just think it's so cool. I think that you can even wear it as a kind of dress watch because it's so ironic. It's see-through. It's so impractical. You can see the sweat building up on your arm in the sun. But it's amazing in the design. I just think it's really, really, really cool. It's much more than the like sum of its parts, and it's like, it's almost like a work of art. Clearly it isn't, because if you look at the movement, it's a pile of crap, isn't it? It's like it's thin and cheap, but it's just brilliant, and the color of the hands, I love it. This, again, I can't remember the name. I'm sorry that I haven't gone into the names, but I think this has got a kind of Italian name as well. I've made a video on it, but it's got a date ring around the outside, and it tells the date, and it's cool looking, and it's red. I really like it. And then a couple of 90s Swatch chronos. This is from 1993. By the way, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I'll list them in the description if anyone's interested. But this is from 1993, and it was quite expensive for a swatch. And then it was more than £100, what I mean by expensive. But some of the 90s chronos are really, really desirable, and they can go for hundreds of pounds. But this just looks like a cool chronograph to me. It's not dead zany. It had a red strap, and I put this Swatch strap on it. I think it looks cool. And these are 36mm, so they're more modestly sized than the new Gent watches. I don't think they make these watches anymore. The chronos are bigger and kind of chunkier, and I wish they did, because these are much nicer in my opinion. Much thinner as well. And it's great. It's in great condition. It's from 1993, so it's 30 years old. And it's a plastic disposable watch, but cool. And then this one, I do remember the name of it because it is in a book that I have called Swatch for Connoisseurs, and it's called Honey Tree. When I saw this, I thought that can't be the original strap, but it is. So it came on a leather strap, and it's got gold accents, which I don't really like the gold. This was like 30 quid from eBay or something. I wanted to sell it, but no one was interested really. You can kind of understand why, but it's 1993 Swatch chrono for 50 quid or whatever. I had it on the other strap that was on this watch, and it looked better than. I don't like the leather strap. I think it's horrible, to be honest. I don't wear this anymore, and I would let this go because I don't need two chronos, and I don't like the gold. But it's a funky watch. I've owned two of these actually. The first one broke, so I just put it in the bin, and I bought this one. And then last but not least is the Swatch Skin. So obviously called the Swatch Skin because it's ultra thin, as Swatch say. It's very, very thin. I don't know how to replace the battery on this watch, so if anyone could tell me, that would be awesome. I think this is 34 as well. They make a bigger version of it. I think it's 38. I bought this on eBay it had a plastic strap on it, and it was about £20. And I just bought this mesh from the Swatch store, and it looks really good and kind of new. And these are about £100 actually. So I got a bargain really, and it's a cool little watch. I mean, it's more dressy than your average Swatch, and they are really cool. The Swatch Skin, I would recommend them. They're really comfortable as well, because obviously they're very light and thin. Anyway, yeah. So in terms of what I would add, I did think about getting the Tintin Swatch because I like Tintin as well. Because I'm a grown man, I like cartoons. But it was on eBay and I offered, and the guy didn't message me back. I've owned one of them before as well, but I sold it. And I like the idea of owning that because there's only ever, well, I think there's been 2 Swatch Tintins, but this is the main one, if you like, and I kind of like it. I also like the black Chrono. It's bigger and chunkier than the old Chronos. And my plan in terms of Swatch was to buy and just experience one from each kind of range. So, in the 90s, Swatch had, for example, a watch with a pager in it. Obviously, pagers don't exist anymore, but I thought I'd buy one of them just to see what it was like. And there's a stopwatch Swatch. There's one called Coffee Break, for example, which is not a chrono, but it times for a minute. Yeah, so tell me what you think of the collection. Tell me what you like about Swatch, and thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.